Hi guys, this is Carrie. Welcome to A Crone's Life. I was invited to do a video response to a hashtag by Kara Tarot. I've never been invited to do a video response before. Not like, they tagged me and said, hey, do this video response. So, two things before we get started. I have a really hard time saying no. And I'm a people pleaser. So it's a double whammy. I don't think I could have said no. Also, but it's not a third thing, I do and I have watched a lot of movies. I say I do watch a lot of movies. That's kind of not true nowadays. Nowadays I do a lot of writing and painting. But thank goodness, because movies can be a time sink. Okay, deep breath. To get started, the name of this hashtag is 20 classic movies in tarot. Now, I was very interested in what movies and why she chose them for this tag. And she tells you all about it in the beginning. So she went on American Films Institute and she chose the first 10 most popular movies, and then she got to Schindler's List and she said, So, 10 from the list and 10 just filled in the blanks from there. And then the last one is going to be your favorite movie. And I'm still trying to decide about that, but it's 20 prompts. I got lots of time to figure out what my favorite movie was. And to be honest, that's going to be hard. And it'll be double hard because I don't know that I have a tarot deck for what would be my favorite movie. Okay, so to get started, the first movie, number 1, is Citizen Kane. And the quote is, Rosebud. You've seen this, right? You know Citizen Kane. Okay, hopefully. What deck has a central mystery and is hard to unravel? I'm using this one because I've had a hard time getting into it, even though it's supposed to just be straight up tarot. And tell me if you've seen this before. You probably have. It's the Red Raven Tarot. This was a Kickstarter. I don't know many people that have it, and the people that I know that have it really aren't crazy about it. I'm crazy about it, but I just don't really know how to use it. It's supposed to just be tarot. I'm not convinced. It's difficult. It's difficult for me, and I ain't gonna lie. This kind of screams Citizen Kane to me. I did not think of it that way before. It also kind of screams... But I love this deck. I love everything about it. I do the cards this way, but they're probably supposed to be this way. They just feel more natural being sideways. These are the backs. They have pointy corners. It might be the only deck that I have that has pointy corners. So that's the Red Raven, and the author is Long Vu On Du. And I'll put his link in the description box because he's an awesome artist. I just haven't figured out how to use the deck yet. So the second prompt is the Godfather. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Yeah, it's. I'm sure you've seen it. Okay, anyway. It's a deck that represents an offer you couldn't refuse. So most recently, I bought a box of what to me was mystery decks from Honey Lou Wilson. By the way, check out her channel. She's awesome. She had the mini Hanson Roberts. The first deck I ever had was a Hanson Roberts, but it was in a kit. It was in a big kit. It was probably 1989, 1990, right? So this is a mini of the first deck I ever got. I think, pretty sure. I was studying this tarot while my mom was studying the Zodiac Compendium. Yeah. And the fact that this is pocket size is really cool because I travel quite a bit. And look how nice and small that is. Like, I'm not even doing like what I should do to show you. I should show you a regular size card. Let's see, this is the Future Ancestors. And this is the Henson Roberts pocket. I mean, how can you not love the smallness of, well, if you have really big hands, then you probably wouldn't love it. But I love it. I'm so excited about the tiny little deck that is. And the fact that it was the first deck that I ever got. It's super cool. It was an offer I couldn't refuse. By the way, I bought that box from Honey Lou Wilson. She packed it full of stuff that was worth way more than what I paid for it. She practically gave me half that stuff. It was so great of her. Check out her sales. Prompt number 3 is Casablanca. Here's looking at you, kid. Okay, what deck is simply a pleasure to look at? So, I have so many decks that I've already shown you so many times, and I just feel like I'm beating a dead horse. So, I'm going to show you one that's underrepresented in my collection. But, it is stunning. And it's not the Stunning Tarot, which I thought about getting out. This is Smoke, Ash, and Embers. And everything by Three Trees Tarot is gorgeous. I personally love the cardstock. I love the backs of all of the decks. I love everything about this. It is a pleasure to work with, not just look at. I follow Adam Olner on Instagram, but I have not been on Instagram much. I only answer my messages, and I just feel like it wastes a lot of my time. I have other things I'd really like to be doing. I have to prioritize. But this deck is stunning, and I can't remember ever talking about it to you guys. Like, this deserves so much attention. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, I'll show you a couple more and then we will move on. Okay, that's good. Okay, one more because this one's cute. I love cute. This is my kind of cute, by the way. This is my kind of cute. Because of my age, guys. Because of my age. Like, I'll show you cute from when I was young and you'll know why I like the cute that I like. So number 4 is Singin' in the Rain. I'm singing in the rain. Okay, so I'm not going to sing to you because I'm sure you guys don't want to hear that. But it's basically which deck gives you a glorious, happy feeling. And I just covered that with another one of these hashtags, and I did the Little Monsters Tarot, what deck makes me happy, and it truly does make me happy. But in the interest of trying new decks on you guys, let's look at a mass market. It's called the Floating World Tarot. I knew nothing about this deck when I bought it. I saw the cover and like the 3 pictures that they had, and I said, I need that. Again, this is cute. This is my kind of cute. I'm going to show you the backs. It's got dragons on it. And I love the color yellow. I wear yellow all the time. But look at these cards. So it's based on a world that doesn't exist. So it's very mythical. It's very mysterious. It's very... Lovely. Full of color. Oh my gosh, I love this deck so much. And even though it's kind of a heavy hitter, like seriously, the characters in this are not playing around. They are serious about their job. It still gives me my messages in a way that doesn't just break me. You guys know what I mean, right? I mean, I can get hit hard and it not be too bad, but you know, some decks, they just break me. Marielle Tarot breaks me. I have to recover. I have to just spend a lot of time recovering. Yeah, I love this deck. This deck is awesome. Mass market, so you can find it. It is definitely my Singing in the Rain. Written by Oliver Luke Delarue, and it was illustrated by Mia Komatsu. And again, it's mass market. You can find it on Amazon, which is where I found it. The Floating World Tarot. I'll sing to you next time. Okay, prompt number 5 is Gone with the Wind. I'm going to, full disclosure, not my favorite movie, but it is definitely one you should watch if you've never seen it. Gone with the Wind is historically accurate? Yeah, I think so. I've been to Tara, the place where they filmed it, the big Annabella mansion. It's in Georgia, and my husband grew up in that area, and he actually really likes Gone with the Wind, which is shocking because he's not that kind of movie watcher. So the fact that he likes Gone with the Wind means that I'm just wrong. So the quote is, "After all, tomorrow is another day." And that's so true. But the deck is the one that helps strengthen you when you're down. Okay, so the deck that helps me when I'm down, helps strengthen me. Let's be very specific. The deck that strengthens me when I'm down, I'm making it an oldie but goodie, is the True Heart Tarot. I've had this so long. Okay, so these are the backs, and a lot of people don't like the backs. I don't care. I think they're fine. The fronts, and it's upside down. So the backs are reversible. I don't really know what to say about this deck other than it's like an old friend to me. Some of the cards, like you've seen, have just faces, normal people, good representation of a human person. Other cards have silhouettes, black shapes, like this one. And that is also a criticism I've heard about this deck, is they want them all to be one way or another. I love this deck. I have no criticisms. Like, okay, I have my old criticisms. Okay, I love Rachel True. I watched The Craft so many times. I enjoyed her and her co-stars, and I thought, a tarot deck by her, awesome. It's sold. Fine, I got it. And the cardstock is like, it's kind of like a cereal box cardstock. And I wasn't used to that. Like, when I first got this deck, I said, you know what? I think it'll be better if I cut it down. And I had just gotten a Cricut. So I put my cards in the Cricut, and here we go. See, it's right along the same storyline. So I was only taking off a tiny bit all around the edges, making them a little bit thinner and just a hair not quite as tall. Both sides. And this particular card in my Cricut got screwed up. It chopped so much off. It made it so small. I was like, I have no choice. I have to go back and do all of them the same size. And so my deck, the one that I loved, ended up being really small. Like, a lot of the image of it got messed up. This card. Because this deck means so much to me, I wanted, my soul cried out for, so what are we doing? We're doing Gone with the Wind. So this makes sense. It's melodramatic right now. This is a big thing to me. This was earth-shattering. I needed this deck, and I wanted the whole image. I bought another whole good deck. I mean, I don't generally touch because I don't want anything bad to happen. I don't want me to mess it up. I'm so terrible. I'm so terrible to my decks. Just don't do as I do. Just try to follow other people's examples. But this was Gone with the Wind, After All Tomorrow's Another Day, and it's the deck that helps to strengthen me when I'm feeling down. I should really keep this out. Not a bad idea. Okay, number 6 is Lawrence of Arabia. And that is all men dream, but not equally. And boy, that's true. Which deck helps you aspire to your highest self? First things first, I love Lawrence of Arabia. It is an amazing movie. It is so long. I had to take 2 pee breaks. It is so long. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. And, oh my God. I love that movie. I love Lawrence of Arabia. Okay, so this deck helps me to aspire to my higher self, and it is The Shimmering Veil by Cilla Conway. That she does an amazing job painting. I would love for my intuitive paintings to be so pleasing. These are the backs. And I've got like silver holographic sides. My intuitive paintings are kind of crap, and that's fine. I'm okay with crap. I'm working on it. We all know that. But she's also such an intellectual when it comes to her belief in physics and the mystical. Like, she ties it all together in her interviews when she talks about physics, the astroscience behind her decks, and what she believes plays a part in tarot. I mean, I was moved. I was like, really? I had no idea. So I had to go out and I watched like half a dozen physics videos to try and catch up to speed. I had to dig deeper, and then I watched more, and then I watched more. And for about 3 years, I was really into the armchair physics stuff. It felt like a journey, and if I could stay kind of on that journey, I feel like I would know so much more than I do. I aspire to know more. I aspire to have some sort of expertise that I could count on to tell about why I think what I think. Because of Cilla Conway. And it makes me want to be better. So number 7 is Vertigo. And the quote is, "There is something I must do. There is something I must do." So which deck are you obsessed with? This deck. And it is the Nameless one by Zia Hunt. And it has no words. It only has sigils. But yeah, I am obsessed with this deck. The black, like the fact that she did her drawings on black, it's so cozy, and I think that that is part of what draws me in. Not just the gorgeousness of her drawings, but the fact that it's deep in color as well as deep in meaning. I'm sorry. But yes, I am obsessed with The Nameless one by Zia Hunt. Sorry, had to take my jacket off. I'm hot, man. It's hot here. Sorry. Anyway, so prompt number 8 is The Wizard of Oz, and it is There's No Place Like Home. Which deck feels like returning home after a wild adventure? It's called the True North Tarot. These are the backs. That is holographic. And there's holographic images on the front parts of it. But For one thing, in the guidebook, every card, there's a different place in the world where the picture was taken. And I don't really feel like going through the guidebook to tell you where these pictures were taken, but the background has the picture, and then you know where it is in the world if you look in the guidebook. And then you've got the 7 of Cups, which is a very simple deck. But I travel a lot, and my pictures from vacation sometimes look a lot like this. And so I'm just happy and fascinated by what looks like a vacation deck. And it does remind me, you're home, you're safe, these are your memories. It took a long time for me to learn how to read this particular deck, because all the other decks I had ever worked with back in my day had been Rider-Waite-Smith decks. I didn't even know the Thoth had existed. Like, I'm how old? And I didn't know. But what I did was I wrote my keywords on these actual cards. I actually, I'll stop saying actually. I edged the deck in metallic ink. So this is like scrapbooking ink. Everything about this took so many forevers. The edging, because it's metallic ink, it took forever for it to dry. Because the cardstock is a lot like a Polaroid. Whatever that texture is, it took forever for this stuff to dry. And I actually went over it like 3 or 4 times, because I did pink, silver, and purple. Anyway, big pain in the butt. But this deck is like coming home, and my adventures are on the cards. I mean, oh, that looks like there, and that looks like that, and we did this. But I love this deck. I will never get rid of it. And now that I can't even find it anymore, I'm very happy to say I have 2. That is my Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. After you've come back from your adventure deck. And it's the True North Tarot. So number 9 is Star Wars, and this is the 1977 Star Wars. A little aside, I watched it at the theater. I'm so old! So the quote is, "Luke, I am your father." And the deck is a deck you struggled with, but then found a surprising connection. It's the Navigator's Tarot. Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. So I was watching all these YouTube videos, as I do, and I saw people that had like really old decks and really cool decks, and decks that I was surprised, like, I didn't even know that existed, and it's in like my timeline. Like, seriously, people on TarotTube are younger than that freaking deck. The images on these cards are so weird, but it really seems Thoth-based. And, you know, I always try to say seems, because even though I feel like I've read that somewhere or I know that from somewhere, doesn't mean that it's true. I have a bad memory. And yeah, so it seems Thoth-based. And when I first got it, let's just be honest, I hated the artwork. Yeah, these are the backs. It has the Tree of Life. Yeah, so when I saw these people and I didn't like them, I kind of just put the deck away. I just said, well, whatever. It didn't come with a guidebook. I mean, the guidebook that I have is this big. It's a little white book. I'm gonna get the bigger guidebook, don't worry. But because I didn't have that bigger guidebook, I kind of dismissed this deck. And I'm going to shout out Atypical Tarot. He was doing the Five of Cups. I should probably find that. So he featured the Five of Cups, and he was talking about all the things going on in this card. So forgive me, I'm going to try to cover what I remember, but this has been 2 years, I'm pretty sure. So the Five of Cups, the guy, his feet are tangled in the net, and he is underwater. So not only are we dealing with the loss of 3 cups, because that's regret, but we're dealing with life or death, and you're underwater. You can't accurately gauge reality. You are submerged in all these emotions. You're submerged and you're trapped in all these emotions. Yes, there's land in sight. Yes, there's cups floating on the water, but where are you? You're immersed. You are so deep in this mess, in this muck from the 3 cups falling over. And when he told me all the stuff, which is way more than I just went into, when he told me all the stuff about the imagery in this card, it blew my mind. And I said, I have a treasure. The symbolism is amazing. So there are some cards that I still struggle with. There are some cards that just make more sense, really in-depth messages. This is way more than I thought it would be when I first got it. I was first disappointed, and then I was amazed. So look how crazy that is. Come on now. Really? But I can't wait to get the guidebook because it's mysterious and it's fun and exciting. And I'm so glad I gave it a second chance. And I'm so glad I saw Atypical Tarot's video, because if I had not, this might have gone unnoticed for so long in my collection. So this is, what did I say? Star Wars. Luke, I am your father. A deck that you struggled with, but then found a surprising connection. Okay, buckle up, guys. It's number 10. We're halfway there. The Criterion Collection really molded my taste in movies. I enjoy the weird. I enjoy the unexpected. Psycho is the prompt. And Psycho is a boy's best friend is his mother. I love Psycho, by the way. Briefly, the Tarot Obscuro. I missed out on this Kickstarter, but I was able to obtain the deck itself from Etsy, maybe? My husband got it for me. That's what it was. I gave him the link, though, so I did know where it was supposed to be from. Black edges, matte black edges. These are the backs. It is manipulated photography. Very twisted. Artwork in this is so... Oh my God, it's so... What is this? Like, it makes me feel things. And it stimulates my brain. Like, it makes my brain just start spinning. The gears are just going. You can see the smoke coming out of my ears. Anyway, this is a great deck. I have not had a chance to spend tons of time with it because I have just recently got it. Oh, I did get the Techno Mage. Here's the Techno Mage deck. Okay. So Lee Duncan, I love his artwork. He did use AI to come up with the image to begin with, but then he went into Photoshop and he did his magic, did his artwork over, and they're very glossy. I'm so sorry. Oh, and look at the sides. They're glossy black. And sometimes, not now, but sometimes you can pick up the colors of things around it. It just makes it look so pretty. I adore this deck. I've used it so much. Let me show you the backs. There's a few oracle cards in here that that really speak to me, but I think there's like 4 of them. Makes me so happy to work with this deck. I love his artwork. So he has another If You Like Creepy, a Kickstarter going on right now. It's called the Dreaming Eye Tarot. And if you look in my posts, there's links to his Kickstarter. So guys, just check it out. I mean, all of the stuff in the new deck is completely hand-drawn. You can go to his website on YouTube and you can watch him draw every single card. Well, I think every single card. And so you don't have to worry about like the whole AI thing. So that's number 10, and that's my big pile of stuff that goes with number 10. And I probably have way more, but these are the ones I could easily pull out and show you. And I found my old True Heart tarot that I told you was cut too small. And I thought I'd just give you an idea of how this worked out. I edged it in red. I used not Copic markers. I think these were Prismacolor markers, but they're still alcohol based. So the little medallions that are in the corners of the artwork were cut off. Yeah, it made me sad because of how small the cards were. I take this deck with me to a lot of places because of its size, and I made a bag for it. It fits perfectly in there. Like, when I first made the bag, I had to split the deck in two so I could get it through the hole, through the zipper. Sorry, this whole video response is cracking me up. Okay, prompt number 11. So, 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that. It's a deck that simply won't work in all readings. So, I have a couple of decks, but the first one is probably the most important one. Because this was a unicorn, and it is the Yokai Yoshi Tarot deck, and it's by Bublo Plague. Right? Bubo Plague. When I wanted this deck, it was out of print. I'm big into mythology. I think we all are. I don't think I've seen somebody on TarotTube that hasn't said just how they are stimulated by the mythological stories that they hear and that they learn. Yokai, they are not necessarily scary creatures. They can be, but they're not necessarily scary. They're spirits who inhabit places. And some of them can try to steal your soul. Others of them just kind of want to hang out. I went to Tim and Alan, told them this is my unicorn deck, and waited for several months, and no one wanted to sell theirs. eBay, no one wanted to sell theirs. Quite a few months, I went to the website, artist's website, and I just asked him, I want your deck. Well, I got this deck. I got it from the artist, so I know it's for real. I got everything I wanted. I was so happy. And then I go to use it. And it's so obstinate. This deck has such a personality, but darn it, will you please just do my readings? It's like, no. I'm a trickster deck. I'm going to do what I want. I'm not going to answer that question. And you're just along for the ride, so haha. Which is another reason why I really enjoy using several decks in one reading. I like to put a lot of input in a reading, and usually the peer pressure just works. Just kidding. Sometimes the peer pressure works. But the Yokai Yoshi, sometimes it does great readings, and sometimes it just doesn't. Okay, so number 12. Again, transparency. I've never seen Sunset Boulevard. It was made in 1950. By the way, that's way before my time. That's like 20 years before my time. So hopefully I'm forgiven. I didn't know I needed to watch Sunset Boulevard. 1950, so Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up. I've heard that quote before, but I didn't know it was from this movie. So, which deck do you treat like a star? This is the Children of Litha, and I adore this deck. Zia Hunt, maybe I have an abnormal obsession with her artwork, but Oh well, whatever. That one's upside down. I learned so much from this deck. There's something about Zia Hunt's work, maybe so because she's able to simplify without taking away any of the realism. So I still see emotion in her face. She still looks like a person riding a goat, which, okay, very real and cartoon. And I cannot not love this. That was a really convoluted way of saying I love this. Yeah. Deck is very cool. It's the shining star right there along with the Marielle. You know, that reminds me, I really should get a fire safe for my most special decks. 20 prompts are a lot. We're on 13. So this is The Graduate. Dustin Hoffman. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If not, that's a shame because it's a really good movie. The Graduate, 1967. Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you? That's not exactly how he said it, but I'm not in the mood. Which deck is filled with mature female seductive power? I have 3 decks here, and they kind of cover all bases for me, personally. Horror Tarot, which is also Abigail Larson. The thing that I like about Abigail Larson's artwork is that she has these really beautiful expressions on her characters' faces, and I can imagine them trying to be very sexy. This is the Queen of Swords. Why won't you focus? Thank you. I do love that one. Oh, the Lovers. The second one that I think is very sexy, or feminine sexy, is my Classic of Mountain and Seas. This is by Carolyn Zing. I love it. I think it's beautiful. The men are also beautiful. But their poses, the way they hold themselves, their confidence is very feminine, sexy to me. So this is my second choice. That's so pretty. And my very, very, very favorite one, and I've shown this one before as being a very sexy deck, is the Black Lily Tarot. You know, part of what I do on this channel is try to put my feelings into words. I think that's more difficult than people make it sound. People make it sound like it's so easy to get like in a conversation and tell someone how you feel. But when you look at this deck, you don't necessarily think, wow, that is so sexy. You look at this deck and you go, wow, that's kind of raw. But to me, that's kind of what sexy is like accepting all the rawness and still having a lust for it, you know? I just find this to be intimate. Maybe that's the word I'm trying to use. Like, every time I pull it out, it's like, this is very close to home. This is very intimate to me. All the relationships, all the people. But this is the sexiest deck that I have. And for whatever reason, I find it to be sexy. It is. It's a sexy deck. It's raw. It's emotive. And it doesn't pull any punches. It doesn't lie to me. And that's sexy. Number 14 is Nosferatu. And it was 1922. And the quote is, "Not so hasty, young friend. No one can escape his destiny." So this is a deck which makes you question your reality. This is a really interesting deck. I've used it many times, and it's always given me good readings, but it's weird AF. The cult following tarot deck. This is a collage deck. I believe they did it in Photoshop. They have a lot of Hindu symbolism, which is the reason why I was interested in it. I am obsessed with the Hindu religion. I want to know everything, but that's hard. It also has, well, obviously a lot of skulls. It's just mind-bendy. If I had Nosferatu, yeah, I could put it in the Nosferatu category, but really, I think there's a whole lot of intention put into this. So he's very deliberate. I want to say he. It's Chelsea, though, so it's probably a she. She's very deliberate in what she's done here. I am in such a weird mood today. I'm so sorry. But this is a great deck. I found it on Etsy. If I don't have a link in the description box, just shoot me a message or something and I'll find the link for it. Weird as hell, but it's great. It's great. If it's calling to you, there's a reason, and you will probably be able to read with it. A deck which makes you question your reality, and I guess this is it. I don't know if I question reality so much as I just question why. So number 15, which means we are close to the end. Now there's 20 prompts. I'm on 15. Is It's a Wonderful Life. And that's from 1946. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. A deck that is filled with heavenly light. That is the Mystical Tarot of the Saints. But this is a cool deck. I don't know much about it because I just got it. And it's all about the saints. So, I can follow the stories. My sister-in-law is Catholic, so if I have any questions, I can always call Anne and say, "Hey, tell me about this saint," and I will incorporate that into my thoughts. She would be delighted. It will be exactly that. It'll be angels and love and light and divine in all of us. So Mystical Tarot of the Saints is my angel deck, I guess. What deck is filled with heavenly light? We'll say that. So It's a Wonderful Life, and number 16 is Shaft, 1971. That is my birth year. I'm as old as Shaft. Shaft says, "Shut your mouth." And a deck that highlights African Americans and is terrifically cool. So, eek! So that is Shaft, and I've seen that multiple times. It's a hilarious movie. It is so much fun. Number 17, Some Like It Hot. Now, this is a Marilyn Monroe movie. I don't know if you guys know, if you've seen it. It's 1959. Nobody's perfect. Which deck happily accepts everyone as they are? It's a very good question. This deck does not discriminate. It looks at you and it says, "I'm going to tell you how it is." And this might hurt. These are the backs. They're very reversible. This is a Liminal 11 deck. This might hurt. Well, let me get on this side so I can see. This might hurt is a very inclusive deck. I love this deck. I'm so glad it's mass market. I'm so glad that anybody can get it. I'm sad that it's so glossy, but it's not as glossy as some of mine, so that's okay. There's no edging, so I'm tempted to do crazy shit with the edging. You know how I am. I love the backs, though. Don't worry, I'm not going to be rebacking it. This Might Hurt is Some Like It Hot, 1959. Nobody's perfect. Which deck happily accepts everyone as they are? That's definitely this one. Rosemary's Baby. That was 1968. That was 3 years before I was born. This is no dream. This is really happening. There's a lot of gross things in this movie. There's a lot of trippy things in this movie. A deck which is like a scary dream. So this deck, I gave this to my daughter, and she almost immediately decided that she wasn't into tarot. This creeps me out really bad. Like, I don't even know what it is. Dude. The majority, see, even that's like, ugh. These are the backs. The majority of the deck is really creepy. Dude, the masks. I don't know. That one's not bad. I could deal with that one if it were just amongst regular ones, but some of them are really, really terrifying. Oh, come on now. Okay, that's kind of nightmare fuel. I think I was traumatized and I couldn't handle it. So that would be Rosemary's Baby. So, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon from the year 2000. The things we touch have no permanence. Only by letting go can we truly possess what is real. What deck helps lift you higher than the treetops? Lifting me to the higher treetops. Okay. A deck that lifts me up to the higher treetops. The Sufi Tarot. And I will try to get my fingers below that. Okay, there we go. This tarot I've used several times, and every time I use it, I learn something new, and I feel lighter. The cards are very easy to understand. If you don't even look at the words at the bottom, it is very easy to slip into the meaning. Gives me the message that I'm used to, but from a different point of view. So it gives me more. And I guess that makes me feel good, that I'm able to open my mind and expand. These are the backs. They're elaborate and beautiful, and I would put that rug on my floor. Is the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon deck, which is lifting me up higher than the treetops. Let's say the Deviant Moon Tarot is Mirror Mask. So the Deviant Moon Tarot is Patrick Valenza. I have the borderless edition. Those are the backs. Classic. If you've ever seen Mirror Mask, you know why I'm choosing this. So even though everything looks really strange in the Deviant Moon, it's just a reflection of what is real. And we can take truth away from it. And if Helena could have seen the truth as it was coming to her, she could have avoided the drama, but that wouldn't make for a very good movie. And she could have seen kind of what was going to happen, what was coming her way. I'm not positive that Mirror Mask is my favorite movie. I just know that it's close. That's as close as I could get without lying. And still picking a deck. I mean, I think that's the same with Mirror Mask. All of her messages, she needed to hear the soft version to accept it, to take it in, to learn from it. And it wasn't until things got really crazy that she decided she needed to, you know, get out of that fantasy and get back to the real world. And so it's kind of like putting the cards down and applying what you've learned to your own life, making decisions based on knowledge that you've acquired from tarot, maybe. So I think The Deviant Moon is my Mirror Mask. There's a lot. I have a lot of favorite movies. So it's not really a good question for me personally, but I did my best. That was my movies. Let's see, 20 prompts, guys. What did I do? I just did 20 prompts. Say, this is Cara Tarot, and it is hashtag 20 classic movies in tarot, and which decks summarize AFI top films. So I don't know that Mirror Mask ever made AFI's top films, but I don't mind. That was my favorite movie. I will have to work really hard to get this video under control because I've gone bananas. And thank you, Cara Tarot, for inviting me to do this. This is so much fun. I love you guys. I'm having such a great summer. I hope you are too. Be safe. Take care of yourself. I'll see you guys later. Bye.